It's not often that you get to play an iconic role. I'm thinking Will Smith when he played Ali, and I'm thinking Denzel Washington when he played Malcolm X, but you got to play Jackie Robinson. When they asked you to do the role, what was going through your mind? Was it intimidation? I mean, it's Jackie Robinson.
I mean, at first you just celebrate that.
Yeah.
You know, you don't think about how difficult it's gonna be at first. After that, it sets in how big it is. And I just tried to break it apart. You know, we had some time to work on it. You know, you go through your actor's process, and I just told myself that this is like any other role you've ever done, except, you know, it's gonna mean more to everybody that watches it. And so I think, you know, for me, it was just the process of you know, me accepting the challenge and realizing that there's nothing I could do about, you know, what anybody else is gonna say about it. And then, you know, accepting the fact that I owed a responsibility to his family.
When you talk about thinking of the family, I know you had extensive conversations with Rachel, his widow, and when you talked about the process, when you started delving into the role and talking to her, did it start to hit you then like, wow, this is more than just a role? I mean, this guy's uniform numbers retired in every baseball stadium in the country, and he started a movement. So when you talked to her and you started delving in the role, what were you thinking then?
Well, she's been trying to do this movie for a while. Yeah. And I understood once I talked to her how big of a thing it was for her. And for her, it's a legacy. She's built on his legacy since he passed. She built the Jackie Robinson Foundation. And I mean, you don't have to look far to find, like, you know, streets and schools and community centers all named after him. And she's been a big part of keeping that going.
When she gave her like blessing, like, okay, Chadwick, you're the guy. Or did she even do that? Did she fill you out and be like, I don't know if you can play Jackie. I don't know if he looks like. I mean, was there that type of? Did you have to win her over?
I think the process of winning her over was even during the course of shooting, not just before. Like, I went and visited her. She pulled out photo albums and pulled out books and talked to me for a couple of hours. And she didn't necessarily say, you know, I know you can do it. I mean, she shouldn't, you know. Right. I think it was good for her to sort of present a challenge.
Okay.
And present, like, I'm not exactly sure about you. And she wouldn't be exactly sure until she saw the movie.
There was some scenes in that movie where, you know, there was some athletic stuff going on. You fit right in there. I mean, you look like this part was made for you. You didn't have to stretch too much. Did it feel natural for you to play this role after you got going?
Well, yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, I'm an athlete.
Yeah.
Baseball is a different story because baseball there's a skill set to it. There's a skill set to all sports, but there's a skill set like pinpoint. You know, I have to throw the ball, hit this spot. I have to hit the ball. You know, in certain times you're placing hits in certain places, and because in the script it says he hit it down the third base line, and he's thrown out at first, but he beat the throw, but they called him out. You know. And so certain times we would have to do things over and over just to achieve those things, you know. So we would have bets. Can he do it? Can he hit it down the third baseline this time and beat the throw? That's the difference between doing it for a movie and doing it for real. It's like in a real game, there's no second and third and 10th take, you know.
Right. You talk about movie and real. Some of the stuff that you had to go through, as real as can be, some of the racial hatred. As we're all growing up, we heard the stories, but when you actually had to live it out on film and put your heart into it, one, was how difficult was that? And two, did it give you an even better understanding of what he went through back then, breaking the color barrier?
Well, I think that's why you do the movie, is to you do it to gain a greater appreciation. And I have to go through that process in order for the audience to get that from it. So that's part of the reason why you take on a role like this, is why you become an actor, is because you get to explore parts of the human experience that are in the past or that are buried. And so for me, it was definitely difficult at times. Contrary to that, though, you know, you do have to get to that place, because you have, you know, every time I would come out or I would do something, you know, the extras in the crowd would cheer, whether they were white or black. And so sometimes, I myself would go and tell the white people in the crowd, stop cheering for me. Because don't cheer for me again, because we have to do the takeover, because you're not supposed to be cheering. It's supposed, you know, which is a good thing.
Coming back to Howard, Howard alum, how cool is it to be back in the district and, you know, being back in your old stomping grounds?
It's good to come back this way, you know what I'm saying, like in this manner, to come back doing a movie and to go around the city and see billboards and posters and all that stuff. It's you know, that's sort of a dream come true.
What's next for you?
Can't tell you that.
You can't? It's a secret.
I can't tell you that.
I mean, it's gonna be hard to top that, man.
Yeah, that's
It's gonna be hard to top that, bro.
Yeah. I don't think you try to top it.
Right.
I don't think you try to top it. I think you just, you know, continue on the same path, and, you know, and it presents itself.
All right. Chadwick, thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you, man.